Oh, this takes me back. Because not only are we on the farm, we're on a beef farm. Oh, there we go. They were getting a little excited. They're excited to have me here. Is that what that is, Sandra?
No, there's another reason for that.
There's another reason. We're educating today this morning.
We're educating.
Okay. So I grew up on a beef farm in Kenilworth, Ontario. We're in Brant County. We're in the Vos Farm with Sandra Vos. Farmer Sandra.
Farmer Sandra.
How are you doing, Sandra?
And Farmer
Leo.
Leo.
Farmer Leo, off camera there. But a fascinating story, how we came to this, right? You've been doing this for
almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
But before that,
I was a public health nurse. I taught at university, nursing students. I did short-term contracts in the healthcare professional field. And I had an opportunity one day from a cousin who owned the farm. My uncle just farmed up the road and we used to help his kids. And he says, can you buy this farm? And I came home and announced to the family, sure, I'm going to buy this farm. No. Without any idea what the heck I was doing. Which goes to prove, if you want to do something in life, sometimes you really do have to jump in and then try to swim later. So that's what happened to me.
Why do you love it? Or do you love it?
I do love it. I didn't know I loved it for the first 5 years because I was afraid of cows and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and the neighbors were tolerating me, and they're wonderful neighbors now. But I realized good health starts with good soil, starts with good food. And I love being outdoors. I grew up outdoors, and this every day fulfills that need to come out and be with nature, work with nature, and let nature tell you what needs to be done to keep the cows happy, the birds, the bobolinks, all the different butterflies and everything that we have on this farm is because I have a grass farm. So.
And these are your girls?
And these are my girls.
How many do we have?
We have, just careful they don't jump when they jump. I have 23 moms, I have 6 teenagers, and I have 1 bull and 22 calves. So yeah, over 50 animals. So
there was something special that happened yesterday.
Something very special happened yesterday.
Okay,
my bull is very fertile.
We're going to meet, what's the bull's name?
Radiant.
Radiant.
We're
going to
meet him later.
Oh, it's over here, Luke.
Yeah.
Right here. So this is Mom over here. And
so I was expecting 1 more cow has to calf. And I walked up and I looked at this little cow. And I looked on the ground and there's a calf. Now this calf is little because the mom is little because she was so fertile at 6 or 7 months last fall. It's never happened to me before. She got pregnant. So that puts a whole different spin on calving.
She's how old now?
She might be 18 months. And normally you wait till about 2 years for them to have a calf. As you can see, now these calves mostly all were born in March, so there's almost a good 2 months difference between most of them. Okay. And you can see they spend a lot of time feeding on mom and eating grass and running around.
Let's get into that grass. We'll take a break because we'll get into rotational grazing is what you call it, right? You kind of all set up here, and we'll kind of explain that and explain the environmental purposes that you have here. Why beef cattle are not bad.
Yeah,
they get bad rap sometimes.
In certain ways, yeah.
And we'll get into that when we hang out with Farmer Sandra and the Vos Farms on Morning West.
Isn't that a cute little calf? You have to pick that up.
Here's to the farmer.
Come on, girls.
Well, good morning from the farm. Vos Farms in Brant County. The Farmer Sandra, who's been doing it for 20 years after starting her career in nursing. And for you, it's all about sustainability. It's all about something called rotational grazing, Sandra.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Yep, we're moving. They're lucky today. They're getting moved to really rich grass. They come and they eat in a section for a day, and then I move them to the next, and I put the wire up so they can't go back and cut the nice new grass that starts up.
Is this wire hot or electric?
No, this is dead.
But you have to train them? Like you have to train the calves to...
I do. So the whole farm runs on temporary poly wire and stakes. So I can set up configurations of paddocks anywhere I want on the farm, including the front lawn if I want the grass cut. And the cows know when this is on, stay away from it.
So they're getting into this fresh
Yes, they're getting
growth.
in, and a lot of...
How excited are they for this?
They're very, very excited. And if you watch and wander all through them, see how they've gone right over to the fence line. And that's because the grass over there, I very rarely cut it in hay, and it's called the hedgerow. And that's the richest, deepest mineralized grass, and they have memory, and they go every time to their favorite spot in every paddock.
So it just tastes better.
It tastes better. It's richer. It's sweeter. And I forgot the bricks meter because I was going to take that and show you what the sugar content was in there versus in here. But they also love the alfalfa, they love the different grasses. They'll trample a lot, but that's okay because that feeds the soil microbes and the worms and everything else. So
what's the difference between letting them graze like this and, I don't know, just having them
them in a
having
field?
them, or having them in a barn? We did that, had them in the barn, and then you just be feeding them hay.
So you're constantly bringing them hay. There's a lot of richness in grass that you can get in dried hay, but it's a lot of intensive work. You're spreading the manure consistently around each area so it's not a massive buildup. And you're also creating habitat for the birds like the bobolinks, the redwings, all the different bugs and butterflies that come to this farm. So if you didn't have this grass growing like a grassland, you're depriving a lot of biodiversity of a home. It's not just for cattle, it's for everything that's on this farm.
How often are they eating? Just constantly? All
Constantly.
day? All night?
Yeah.
Are they sleeping? Like, what kind of hours are they
Yes, the whole point is they go and they graze intensely, and then they lay down and they chew their cud, and that's when you see that cow just chomping away. They regurgitate, they put it back into their stomach, they chew it on their cud more, and I think about 80% of what goes into them comes back out the back end, so they're the original recyclers.
Okay, there's our little calf. There's our little guy. Wait,
Yeah.
do we know if it's a
It's a little girl.
a little girl? Oh, there.
Yeah.
Oh, just having a little pee. There you go. Hi, sweetie. And there's mom. There's proud mom. Okay, let's take another break. We'll come back and we'll get into sustainability with beef cattle with Sandra Ross and the new edition on Morning Live. You like to moo it. Sorry, it's just too easy.
It is, isn't it?
Welcome back to Vos Farms in Brant County. Back with farmer Sandra. How many times do you answer the phone? You're just like, I'd like to talk to the farmer. You're just like, you're speaking with her.
Yeah, there's always dead silence on the end of the phone. Or they'll call and my husband answers and they start asking him about equipment or about did I have a bull for sale or whatever, and he'll listen for a while. He's really good at this and says, I think you want to talk
Well, there
to
he
the
is
farmer.
over there. Hey, Leo! There's Leo over there! Okay, we were talking last segment that, so we let them in, if you missed it, you do rotational grazing. So you're always allowing them into a new area that's grown up.
That's right.
And we were mentioning this. This is the gold for them. This is what they really like. What is it that they like about this, Sandra?
Because the soil has been undisturbed for years and years, the roots of this grass grow deep, they pull up minerals, and it's in the leaf. And the wide leaf, there's a lot of good nutrition in here. It's probably really sweet tasting to them, the grasses. And cows have memories. They know what the best part of each of my little paddocks is. In another field, they'll go right for the clover. It's just...
They have memories
They
like
have
that?
memories, yeah. And they teach their calves how to pick what to eat and what not to pick. And the other thing about rotational grazing is you have a variety of plants so that there's like a buffet for them. So if they want this plant, they can have it. They'll eat the spinach type plant last, just like kids, and they'll eat the candy first. So they're into the candy today.
They got some poop on them. Like they roll around the poop.
Oh yeah, the spring is really high protein. I mean, great for their milking the beef calves, but the poop goes right through them, but it also disintegrates really, really fast. And I try to move them, skip paddocks so that they can run away from the flies, and that helps with the fly population because I don't use insecticide on the cows because that affects the manure breaking down. So,
What are some beef cattle get a bad rap?
oh, that's a really good question. And yes, some practices of beef cows in certain parts of the world. Unfortunately, people think Canada's like South America sometimes, and we're not. We live in this amazing land with grasslands that need cattle to keep it down, just like the buffalo. The indigenous people had it bang on right from the day one, and we need to emulate that more and more. Grasslands meet birds, meets insects. Cattle eat, you leave some to grow back, and you move on. And you don't over abuse any one section unless you're in dire straits.
And these guys just love being outside. That's where they're born outside.
They're born outside, they're out all winter, they're happier outside. The birds come every day at 4 o'clock when they stir up the insects, the cowbirds come. Sometimes I can have up to 200 in a flock, and they peck at the flies, they peck at the insects.
Do they also get excited when Mr. Bull comes for a visit?
Well, the girls get very excited, and the bull will get very excited. He's going out in 6 days, and he's counting.
Can we, what's his name again?
Radiance.
Radiance. Can we meet Radiance?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
let's take a break.
Okay,
We'll meet Radiance.
let's go.
They can see how excited he is to come for a visit. Come back to Vos Farms on Morning Live. Yeah, it's no bull. Radiance is a big boy and does what he wants to do. Because you just missed it off camera. We were trying to get him over to this fresh cut or fresh growth to cut the lawn for you here,
Yep.
here in the front.
He's my lawnmower.
He's your lawnmower. And he didn't want to come, and then he wanted to come.
And then he wanted to come really quick, and you people would be amazed at how fast Tim can
Yeah.
run. So it's great.
Back with Sandra Vos. Farmer Sandra, tell us about Radiance, Sandra.
Radiance is a Black Angus registered bull. He's the one that impregnates the cows. And the reason he's on the front line with his good little buddy here, who's another male animal, is because I don't want to deliver calves in February. So Radiance is going out to join the girls on June the 1st, where we were today. And Radiance gets right down to business as soon as he sees those girls. There's no fleas on him.
Do the girls know he's coming? Do they see him coming? And
Yes,
they're down too?
They're sometimes.
Does he have to take him out for dinner or anything?
No,
or?
but they have to stand for him, and sometimes they don't want to stand, so they run away from Radiance, and he spends a lot of time chasing the girls. Another reason for rotational grazing is you have smaller paddocks. The bull doesn't have to run from one end of the field to the other end of the field.
And how long does it take? Because you have how many
I have
heifers you
about 20, well, I'll have, with the heifers I have, there's possibility he could have to impregnate 25 to 30 of them up there. All the
The
girls.
heifer is a
The
female
heifer's the
calf
first
that doesn't
to have a baby, except
yeah.
for the teenage one that we discovered. Yes.
Okay, so how do we solve that? Like he got in with them at some point.
Well, they all calved within 3.5 to 4 weeks last year, so they
Right.
come into what they call heat. And they come into heat every 3 weeks. And so if it's good heat, he gets to space out his trips to service the ladies. So
Is this his protege?
this is one of his proteges, yes.
And how many bulls do you want to have?
I only want to have one bull, so he's a steer.
Gotcha.
So he's no longer a bull,
Oh,
but
right.
he's his friend. Yes, because cows like to have a friend.
Oh, you wouldn't want him by himself.
No, I wouldn't. I don't personally do it that way. Other people do, but they're happier with a friend.
And he's showing us his good side there? Or?
Yeah. Depends on how low that camera goes.
Thanks for the visit. Looks like you're having. Oh,
Yeah.
keep it up. Yeah, we
Well,
see.
thanks for
I
coming.
see. I don't know.
Thanks
I
for
see a
coming.
lot of those, as Bob says, a lot of those truck nuts in Mount Forest on the back of trucks.
Oh, yes, I know. And sometimes hanging from the mirrors. Yeah.
Looks like
exactly.
you're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I still am, and I'll
Yeah?
still do it as long as I can, as long as we're having fun, and nature allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. It'll tell me if I'm doing something wrong.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Thanks for the visit.
Thanks for coming.
Most of all, thanks to the bulls that bucked me off. Woo!